would have its own section comprised of an about page at its very basic core, an about page, and then a resources section. So this was what the about page was going to look like. If we then move by category in terms of people, power, profit, we could simply change the text here to represent that. And then the partners would move under an about tab, for example. But this is basically replicable across the board. So if we did an about at the high level, and then we did a partner at the mid level, which is this level here. So instead of Ontario, it could say, you know, York U, or JJ if you wanted to say your department. We can change that there. You could have a picture in the back, and then stuff about what's going on with you and your department as well. So it's pretty simple and basic that way.
Good.
Yeah. Again, if we go by topic, brief descriptions of the topic, give everybody an idea of what's going on. Okay, so that's.
And then behind that, James, then you can navigate to further specificity from this, because up at the top, those stay the same, but if I want to move forward in it, so I've gone to Ontario, and then I want to go to whatever, solar in Ontario, let's just say that's the next thing. How will that look? Like, how do I dig deeper along the line? Do I have to go back to the navigation at the top?
At the navigation at the top, what will happen is there'll be a drop-down, which doesn't really show here. So every time you make a subpage in a category, there's a it'll be added to the drop-down. So depending on how specific we want to get with our categories, the drop-down will just be longer. But then that's how you would go. Yeah.
Or will it fly out so that if I hover over Ontario or something like that, there'd be a secondary flyout to the right? Is that what would happen?
You mean up here?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm using Ontario, sorry, bad. So I go Ontario, and then I go JJ McMurtry, and then there'll be a flyout saying York University or something like that. Can they dig down visually that way?
Yeah, yes, you can. It will be a fairly, I mean, it's a fairly basic WordPress structure, so likely what will happen, let me just test something here. Let's see what happens when I do this. We didn't do it in this one. But yeah, you'll be able to make subpages upon subpages, basically.
Yeah, okay.
So that will be a possibility. Okay?
Yep.
Okay, what's next? Can I go next from here? No, I can't.
So guys, I just got a message from Judy, and she really wants me to stress out what James, her, and I discussed on Friday about the challenge with the homepage and the provincial tabs, and actually having the people, power, profit, the more generic tabs, and our reasoning was that, you know, in the beginning we're not really going to have that many findings from any of the provinces. So it may look very, very empty. You know, there's not, you know, people who go into those tabs might see that, well, there's not much going on, which is not the truth. So having the people, power, profit, and perhaps also policy and partners may make it clear that, well, this is an advancing research project, and that research findings will be shared. But hey, here's the description of what we're doing research on. And then perhaps here are some initial findings and or maps or infographics. And a lot of, Judy is saying that a lot of our work is comparative across Canada and internationally. So that's why having the people, power, profit as the main tabs, just like you said, JJ, as the project is pan-Canadian and also international, might make more sense. So that was our reasoning. So we wanted your feedback on that as well to see if that makes sense or what could be changed.
Yeah, no, I think just to keep it simple, I like this design, the simplicity. I think how we structure it at the beginning, we may play with it in the end, but it's I think doing people, power, and profit makes sense. And Canada and international is like 5 top line things. That's what you're suggesting, right, Darius? Yeah, I would let's go with that and see how it works. Part of it is that, for me at least, websites you have to use them to figure out what you really want. As a template, this looks fine. But then as we start using it, we may say, "Oh my God, this is totally awkward. We need something else." So.
Exactly. And well, the our reasoning behind having the initial, the provincial tabs was sharing the resource that some of the partners were leading, especially Michelle in Nova Scotia. But now we were thinking that we can have that under, the fifth tab of partners. And within partners, there's a description of the partner and also link to their work or a different landing page for their research. So this way, we thought that we can sort of balance that, the simplicity of the website, but also giving each province, a page where they can showcase their research. And we were having, we also thought about perhaps in the landing page below the description, we can have a link that goes directly to the partners page, to find out more about the project. When you click on that, it goes on the partners page, and there's a very brief description of the project and also names of the partners and quick links to their research. So that was pretty much what we discussed last Friday.
Sounds good.
All right. Sorry, James. Sorry to cut you off.
No. Thank you for doing that. That's perfect. So the way resources is currently set up is it's basically an anchor-based page right now. There was some discussion at the development level as to whether or not it made sense for every single category to have its own page for resources. Our developer recommends, they're very focused on reducing the amount of clicks it takes to get to any one resource on the website. So the idea right now is that it is pooled together, but when you go to Ontario, for example, and then you go to resources, what it'll do is it'll take you to this page, but it'll anchor you onto Ontario first. Yeah. Or if it's people, or if it's profits, or if it's another subcategory, for example. The idea being that, if Ontario right now it only had one, you would actually also be able to see that there's other work going on. And that this project isn't limited in scope, nor is it limited in the amount of work it produces. And it encourages people to take a look at what's going on in other regions and or other categories. Every time you upload a document, you can either upload a link or a downloadable file. On the back end, you'll put the name in the description, and all of this auto-populates. So from the back end side, you won't actually need to do any coding. There'll be one sort of area where you upload files, and this automatically styles and formats for you. So we've made it pretty simple for the back end user to upload their content. So that's what it looks like right now.
Great.
Perfect. Okay. So that's pretty much it for the wireframes right now. I mean, everyone stresses mobile, but I don't know if you guys want to take a look at that. There's just this statistic about how everybody browses mobilely now, so it works. It's adaptive.
James, Judy has a question. She's asking who will have access to the upload function.
So what we'll do is we're going to provide, ideally, every one individual at each partner will have the access to upload. So I can make as many users as necessary. I would like us to make it so that only one person from each partner can upload. And then sorry?
Good idea.
Yeah, I mean, we want to reduce the amount of bottleneck, for example, Trek would place on that, and we don't really want to spend the time to upload either, frankly. So when you upload, you just pick the category to which you'd like to upload, and then it populates itself. So everyone will have a unique login for this, basically, that's associated with your individual email.
Great. Can I ask one last question?
Sure.
When you talked about the gray being pictures, is the text going to remain in that font, in that color, and on a white background?
No, this whole thing is grayscaled right now.
That's what I figured. And I don't care. I'm sure they'll make it look pretty. We don't talk about should it be red or pink, but I just wanted to see. Okay.
No, it's going to take on it's likely going to take on the Our Power color theme though, because they only want to work on one design. So when we have that settled, it'll go across the board. Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing that I had mentioned to Judy for sure, but also maybe Daria, is that we might want to have something like, and I don't know what it is now, but something that doesn't make it look like this is purely a subsidiary of a Trek site, even though it is. That we want to have maybe even changing like one color or something like that, so that it just has a little bit. It looks like it's unique site.
Okay.
And I got to figure out. I'll call the folks at York to see if they want their logo up there.
Okay.
But I think if Trek wants their logo up there, then it should be a York Trek thing. But we may want to just avoid any institutional association so that it might just be like we come up with a PPP logo really simply.
Yeah.
And stick it where the Trek is. I'm not sure. I'm just raising
with collectives, what we've done, and what we've done with Our Power, basically, instead of making a logo, we've just used sort of a standard font at the top that writes Our Power. So you can even do that. You could have People Power Profits as one word at the top that's consistent. And that avoids having anybody need to put a logo on their website anywhere. Like there isn't really a logo, so that simplifies brand management.
Yeah.
Which could be very important. Yeah. So that's what I would likely suggest they do. They put the name of the site here, and then if we want, we can put the logos in the footer if necessary, if that's something that York wants, and then we have to spread across the other partners as well.
Okay.
Okay. Judy thinks so we'll have a student or two. Yes. Yes. So we can assign as many as we need, acknowledging it should be limited. Because I don't want everybody logging in. And I believe the access is going to be controlled. So some logins we can make it so that they can only upload files, and then they can't actually get to the other pages to change things. So that sort of security is controllable on our side.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Great.
Okay.
That's
okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. And Judy, you need to but you need to send me an email about a meeting in Liège, or not Liège, Lille, Belgium, France, it's all the same. You can just come by my hotel if you want. It's just we need to arrange a time to meet on the 2nd, or we can just meet at the conference if you want. Whenever I get there. Okay. When am I arriving? I think I get into Brussels at noon, and then I have to take the train. So I think I get there around 2. Anyway, you guys, yes, on the 2nd. We'll do this over email. They don't need to hear us.
All right, great. Thanks a lot, guys. I recorded the entire session, so maybe I can share that with Michelle instead of.
Oh, you're amazing, Daria. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and then we can get our feedback, and if there's anything that's not clear, then Michelle can contact me via email.
Perfect.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good one, everyone.
Okay, take care.
All right. Safe travels, Judy. Bye-bye.
All right.